Dear students, today we are going to read and enjoy a beautiful poetry, The Ant and the Cricket, from book Honeydew, class 8th. Now, children, I would like to tell you this poetry is a fable. Okay, what do you mean by a fable? A fable is a poetic form, or a fable is having a moral with it. It is a fable in poetic form. A fable is a story, often with animals as characters, that conveys a moral. This poem about an ant and a cricket contains an idea of far reaching significance, which is as true of a four-legged cricket as of a two-legged one. You must have seen a cricket that has two legs. This is the story of a cricket who spent his summer singing. When the winter came, he started starving. He went to ant and wished to borrow grain. But they asked him what he did in summer. He replied that he sang in the summer. They asked him to dance in winter. There are crickets in our society. Some have four legs and some have two. Good morning, children. Today we are going to read Poetry 1, The Ant and the Cricket from book Honeydew, and it is adapted from Aesop's fable. It is a fable. Fable contains a moral with it. Now let's read stanza 1. A silly young cricket accustomed to sing through the warm, sunny months of gay summer and spring began to complain when he found that at home his cupboard was empty and winter was come. Not a crumb to be found on the snow covered ground, not a flower could he see. Not a leaf on a tree. Oh, what will become, says the cricket, of me? Once upon a time, in a hot summer, a cricket sang cheerfully while sitting on a branch of a tree, while down below a long line of ants struggled due to load of grain, and between one song and the next, the cricket spoke to the ant. Why are you working so hard? Come into the shade away from sun and sing a song with me. But the tireless ant as went on working and said, we can't do that. We must store away the food for winters. When the weather is cold and ground white with snow, there will be nothing to eat and we will survive only if the pantry would be full. Now let's read stanza 2. At last, by starvation and famine made bold, all dripping with wet and all trembling with cold, always he set off on a miserly ant to see if, to keep him alive, he would grant him shelter from rain and a mouthful of grain. He wished only to borrow, he would repay it tomorrow. If not, he must die of starvation and sorrow. Now let's do appreciation part of the stanza number 2. Time went on, the days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. Autumn came, and so did the winter. An early frost tinged the fields with white, and lust of the green leaves turned brown. The winter had come at last. The cricket wandered, feeding on the dry stalks. He was hungry and starving. He could not find anything to eat in the cupboard. Trembling and famished, he thought sadly, warmth of the summer songs. Helpless, he think of going to the ants to get some food and shelter. The cricket knocked on the door and asked for help. He said he wanted to borrow as he would repay it tomorrow. The cricket was helpless and cricket was hungry. He knocked the door once again and the ant's pantry was full as she had worked hard. Now let's read stanza number 3. Says the ant to the cricket, I am your servant and friend. But we ants never borrow, we ants never lend. But tell me, dear cricket, did you lay nothing by when the weather was warm Quoth the cricket, not I. My heart was so light that I sang day and night. Now let's see what is given in stanza 3. For all nature looked gay. You sang, sir, you say. Go then, says the ant, and dance the winter away. Now let's do appreciation part of the stanza number 3. The ant's pantry was full as she has worked hard during the summer. The ant gives a very important lesson of life during its conversation with the cricket. Ant says, we worked hard for the winters, and they also said that the ants neither borrow nor lend to somebody. Ants are hardworking creatures and they save for the future. The ant asked the cricket what is he was doing during happier times. On hearing the cricket said, during summer, I indulged in dancing and singing and merrymaking and asked the cricket enter away. Now let's read stanza 4. Thus ending, he hastily lifted the wicket and out of the door turned the poor little cricket. Folks call this a fable. I will warrant it true. Some cricket have four legs and some have two. Now let's do appreciation part of last stanza of the poetry, that is stanza number 4. Now the moral of the poetry is given in stanza number 4. What we have learned from the poem is that we should live every moment of life. We should enjoy all the times, but we should also take care of our future. Careful planning and essential preparation is must for everyone and it secures our future. The last two lines of the poem, folks call this is a fable, but I will warrant it true. This comment by the poet means that this poem is indeed a fable as it has a moral behind it. Thus, the moral of the poem is to be prepared for the adverse times and always work hard instead of being negligent. But the world is full of creatures. There are crickets with four legs and another kind with two legs, referring to human beings who waste their time when they must work hard and they have to regret later. Thank you.